If you haven't seen the Northern Lights before, they're not near as bright as you think they are most of the time. Seeing them in a city is really, really rare.
So you're not like driving on all terrains up a mountain in your E46 to your, cabin in the woods with your pet polar bear.
I take my dog sled, dude.
Explain the car scene in Alaska.
Our scene is 5 years behind anything going on in the States. All of our cars that are like cool or like followed really well come from the military.
How does the harsh weather conditions and stuff play into the drift event?
We can't start the season until the snow goes away, obviously.
What would be some of the things you would do to prep a car to be on ice?
You get to spend a couple days sitting in your garage, drilling holes in tires, like 600 holes. And you need to do multiple sets because they go flat.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.
Welcome back to the #1 drift podcast on YouTube, presented by Enjuku Racing. My name is Dawson, and today we have quite a special guest.
My name is Mason Schrage. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, and I drive an E46.
Hell yeah. How do you say the last name again? I was going to ask that.
It's
Schrage.
German. No one guesses.
Okay,
Nobody guesses
gotcha,
it, dude.
gotcha. That's funny. Hell yeah. Okay, and of course, before we get into the podcast, look below the video. Make sure that subscribe button is not still red. If it is, click it. That way, you're always subscribed. But the merch, if you are a 350Z guy or just like 350Zs, whatever, you're a big grassroots guy, go ahead and grab one of the grassroots hero merch. And I think we still have almost all sizes left, I assume. I don't know. I should probably check on that. I should probably know those things. Buy the merch. If you can't, I appreciate you just watching. Also, I haven't mentioned this in quite a while, but the outro of the podcast, if you do want to be the highlight of it, it's very simple. Literally just tag me in one of your reels, the one with the most likes. That will be the highlight each week. And then, of course, as always, any of the parts and stuff that we speak about, you can most likely find on Enjuku, and all of the links and everything that you will need for all of that will always be in the description. And sorry, this is very long-winded as fuck, dude, but there's a lot of shit to catch up on. But Mid-Pond Spring Break Bash just happened not too long ago. This is the first podcast after that I'm recording, so phenomenal event. If you haven't ever been to Mid-Pond Spring Break, you definitely should. That is a really fun event to be at. But next event should be Grid Life CMP, which actually I think already happened before this one comes out too. So hopefully I saw you there. If I didn't, the next one would be at Drift Mansion with Grip Royal and Enjuku and all of them. So yeah, I am really sorry that one was so long-winded, but I promise this is a really good episode. We've got a pretty unique side of drifting to talk about. So I'll let you kind of give a more in-depth introduction on who you are, and just, yeah, whatever you want to tell the audience.
My name is Mason Schrage. I am from Anchorage, Alaska. I started as a media guy probably 5 or 6 years ago, and then I've been drifting my E46 for 2 seasons now.
Hell yeah. Well, speaking of media guy, I want to start with admiring something right now. Because I saw this picture on your Instagram of it was a simple picture, nothing special, but it was your E46 and the Northern Lights in the background.
Oh, dude,
is that real?
Okay, so that #1 that is real. I can show you the raw shot of
they're
that.
Watching. They're looking at the pictures right now. So just
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I can show you the raw picture of that. There was a car meet that night, and so I was just driving around, and then got home, and I was just watching YouTube or something, and my brother's like, "Yo, go outside right now," because if you haven't seen the Northern Lights before, they're not near as bright as you think they are most of the time. And
that's
so
kind of what I figured. I feel like it's more color graded than anything in pictures.
Yeah, that one is not changed much though, believe it or not.
Gotcha, okay.
I just kind of brightened up the car and everything. But seeing them in a city is really, really rare because of all the light pollution and everything.
Yeah,
it needs to be really dark to see them. So the fact that I literally just walked outside of my house at like 1 a.m., snapped that with my iPhone, walked back inside.
That was out front in front of your house.
That's in front of my house.
Oh
yeah.
my god, dude, that's
Right-
crazy.
Like literally right in front of my house. And
Holy shit!
and it was super crazy because like there's a street light like I don't know right across the street.
Yeah,
And you could
you
still see it all
it
crazy
behind
like
that light.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. As from a media guy perspective, like that's it's such a simple picture,
Didn't
but
even
it's
go
crazy.
look at all my actual pictures, dude.
Oh, I mean, I did my research,
I'm messing.
but that's just crazy that that's even a normal thing, even relatively normal.
I mean, yeah, I've only seen like a few really good light shows like that throughout my lifetime, but yeah, I mean, you see them a couple times a year.
Holy shit!
And if you're up in like Fairbanks, it's almost like I don't know, probably once a month, twice a month, you'll see them.
Gotcha.
When you're like up more north.
Yeah, up in I assume it's like mountainous and stuff up
No,
there, right? No?
Fairbanks, you do have to pass through a mountain range to get to Fairbanks,
Gotcha.
but it's actually flat for like hundreds of miles.
It's so
Like,
dude.
a
All right,
long
dude, we're gonna
ways.
get into a lot of this because like there's a lot about Alaska that I've heard like even outside of drifting that I just
Best place on earth.
it seems really fucking cool. I'm just a bitch in the cold. That's the only problem. Okay, so give me like. If someone asked you for the most Alaska story ever, what would you tell them? Doesn't have to necessarily pertain to drifting. We're getting to drifting.
Ever. A lot of different ones. The
The fact that this is a hard question is hilarious.
This, I guess, would be a good one. So when I was in high school, we used to go on a hunting trip down in Kodiak, Alaska, which is down south where like all those little islands and stuff that you see are.
Gotcha.
And so we would go and live on a crab boat, this like big ship. We'd go live on that for a week and go and hunt on all the islands. So we woke up this is in like October. So we woke up at like 6 or 7, like right when the sun was starting to come up and everything.
Right.
And get off the boat. It's all good. Get onto the beach. We're walking up this mountain. There's, I think, 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're walking up this mountain. The grass is like up over our heads and everything. And my dad's a bigger guy. So we're walking to this thing, and he hears this like this loud breathing. He's like, dude, these are his words, not trying to be disrespectful, Dad. but he was like, man, I know I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. And so he's walking up the thing, and he's still hearing this, and he turns around, and 8-9 foot grizzly stands up.
Oh shit!
And so we all turn around, point our guns at it, and it like did a backflip and ran back down the hill.
What the fuck?
So that's a good one. That same trip, we were on this logging road, and we just like kind of hung out to like take a break, eat some food. And we're all just kind of like half falling asleep because the sun's shining and everything. It's all nice out. And one of my buddies, he hears this like click, clack, click, clack, like up the road, and he kind of wakes up, and there's a mom bear and her two-year-old cubs. A 2-year-old cub is almost a full-size bear. And if there's a mom and her cubs, like that's like bad news.
Yeah.
And they were me to that wall.
Okay. Yeah, that's about like at most 10, 15 feet.
So there's a couple good attention grabbers. People like bears. So.
Oh my God.
Those are some good ones.
So, all right, so then we'll with the whole stereotype shit, is it so you're not like driving on all terrains up a mountain in your E46 to your, cabin in the woods with your pet polar bear?
No, I take my
Like
dog.
you mentioned.
I take my dog sled, dude. Kidding. No, I live in a very normal city. Anchorage is a pretty decent sized city. There's 330,000 people that live there.
Okay.
And we have highways. We have McDonald's.
We have McDonald's.
We have pretty much.
You got Waffle House?
No, dude. We have pretty much everything except for like Waffle House, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle. Those are like the 3 things we don't have.
No shit.
So like when people go down to the States, like, holy shit, dude, I'm getting Chick-fil-A. But like that's it. Like I live a super normal like lifestyle in terms of like the city stuff.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean it's not fully just wilderness.
No.
Like everyone seems to
But
think.
One perk of living up there is like if you want to go shoot guns, or you want to go climb a mountain, or
old guns around here.
Or just be in nature or whatever. You drive 10 minutes. You can go do whatever you want.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually,
Wow.
yeah, Anchorage
Okay,
is encompassed in mountains. We're in the Chugach range, so if you drive 15 minutes from my house, you can hike up one mountain, drop over the backside, and you are by yourself. It is just you out there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Bet there's some sketchy shit that goes on out there too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We ain't got to talk about all that. Okay, so I guess we'll start with, because I want to get more on that, but let's get into the car.
Oh, yeah. Car's over here.
So give me a rundown on the E46. What's done to it? Where's it sitting right now?
Right now it's 3 colors and sitting in my buddy's shop.
Oh, fantastic.
But the E46, it's a stock M54 B25. It's a 325 CI. And it's got E36 cut knuckles and extended lowers.
Okay.
Delrin subframe diff. Yeah, subframe and diff mounts. And then my trailing arms are spherical bearings.
Okay.
And it's got a welded 346.
Is it the Amazon sphericals stuff that like Geoff or Jeff was talking about?
We were just talking about for the $340 Condor ones. That
oh fuck, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, we couldn't save you before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a welded 346, and I run Fortunato 500 super lows. Click tuning side skirts, KBD bumpers, and click tuning over fenders.
Huh. That's fair.
Bumpers were great though.
Yeah,
they were good. They fit good. I'm just an idiot. I don't do body stuff, so like it took me a few tries to get everything right.
Yeah,
there's a few more holes than there's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, of course. Always gonna be.
Yeah, it's there.
Hell yeah. Okay, so it's well, I guess it's in 3 different colors now, but it was pretty like clean E46.
Yeah, it was just a nice simple black one. The problem is like I know of 3 other cars that were very similar, like black coupe slammed with a roof wing and clears, and it was
Silver
like
wheels.
Yeah, and it was like
all the same.
I like my wheel choice is pretty unique. I think I haven't seen another E46 with them, but like my car looked so similar to everyone else's. I was like, I got to do something a little different.
I hear that. Speaking of wheels, though, we were actually just talking about this outside. But it's funny that you mentioned it too, because I put this on the notes before you mentioned it.
Oh,
I would love to see the Neos, the Kansei Neos, in chrome though, the chrome ones.
Oh, only chrome
on that car.
Yeah, no black wheels around here.
So good. So the BMWs with the silverish chrome trim with those wheels is fire.
Literally, I've been waiting to like get home from this trip so I can pay rent, and then I was gonna order wheels, but the Neo awesome. And the KMP are the top of my options right now.
I was going between the Neos or the KMPs literally, but I wanted these in chrome. That was the problem. That was the deciding factor of why Neos were the choice.
Problem is offsets and stuff is so hard when you're low.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Like right now, deciding between like a 9 and a 9.5 is quite difficult because I've destroyed 2 sets of wheels on the front of my car now because I like hit my control arms and stuff. So trying not to do that again with like wheels I paid more than $500 for.
I definitely don't blame you there. Yeah. There was I used to buy these sets of wheels for like literally I could do 4 of them for like $500. It was nuts. But that's a dead company anyway, so. Anyways. Okay, so Alaska, like you've lived there your entire life, right?
Born and raised.
Okay. So what are, I guess, some things about Alaska that people necessarily wouldn't understand or kind of gets misconstrued or it could be related to the car scene or not, but I'm sure you've got plenty of them.
Yeah, I do. It is not dark all year. It is not sunny all year. There are 2 days of the year where the sun doesn't set or only comes up for 3 hours.
How is that, by the way? Like, what does that feel like?
Believe it or not, it's really easy to get used to. Sleeping in the summertime is a little weird.
Okay.
For like May and June, and then you get used to it. Wintertime is hard because you know when like you forget to set your alarm. And then like the sun wakes you up, you're like, oh, good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that because the sun's down to like 11. So
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's like the only hard part to get used to.
Huh.
Let's see some other.
That couldn't be too bad though.
No,
Yeah.
it and summertime is awesome because like let's say you're at the skate park or something. I skateboard.
Yeah.
You're at the skate park or something, and you're like, man, I want to skate longer, but like the sun's going down, I can't see.
How many fucking skate parks do you have there?
We
can't be that
have
many.
4 in like the immediate Anchorage area. There's one on the
No
military
way.
base, and then there's a couple in Fairbanks, and there are a couple in.
Yeah, that was a little sidetracked, but I was just curious.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be
skate scene
sidetracking
is
like a
really
motherfucker
cool.
on this one because I always struggled writing these notes. I was like, dude, there's no way this is gonna end up being a 5-hour podcast if I don't like cram this shit in.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
Let's see other misconstrued things. I don't have a pet polar bear for all the people that I asked for that. We don't have penguins. Penguins do not live in Alaska.
People think that?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alaska is not by Hawaii. If you look on the map at like North America, that big thing on the left, that's where they
dude,
are.
I hate when people think that because they'll put Alaska and Hawaii down at the bottom of the U.S.
That's what
on a
you
map.
see. Yeah.
And I'm like, you fucking idiots. It's got a straight fucking line on one side. It's
right? It's
obviously connected to a continent.
It's up against something. It has to be.
Stupid.
Yeah. Let's see. What else are some... Those are kind of like the I've never I've been on a dog sled, but I've never driven a dog sled.
Is it common for people to use those? Like even around town and stuff?
No.
No?
But so there's a big festival called Rendezvous, is from when in like the past all the fur traders from Alaska would join up in Anchorage to trade and everything.
Huh.
Now it's more of just a celebration. And the Iditarod, it's a 1,000-mile sled dog race from Anchorage to Nome. The celebratory start, I think that's what it's called, is in Anchorage. So for one morning, this happened like 3 weeks ago, but they'll run all the dog sleds through our main street.
No shit.
Yeah,
hell yeah, that's cool.
And there's also an event for that one called Running with the Reindeer. And they literally just let loose a bunch of like domesticated reindeer, and people run with them like down the street and like get headbutted by them and stuff.
Like the bull run
it's
in
like that,
fucking
but
Italy
Alaska
or whatever.
style. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
there's not a bunch of moose.
No, moose are a little harder to like keep.
You can't really domesticate those, right?
No, and they're big.
Yeah,
like a reindeer is like not that big, but a moose is like big.
Yeah. A moose is fucking fish. I've seen them fuck up.
Dude, I've got a lot of really dumb moose stories too.
Oh god, well we can say those off the podcast. Unless y'all want to hear it, then let me know in the comments. But
I got a lot of dumb ones.
Anyways, okay, so I guess the car scene. Just explain the car scene in Alaska, because like from an outsider perspective, I wouldn't even really expect there to be much of a car scene.
Our car scene is kind of terrible. I like I was telling you earlier, our scene is 5 years behind anything going on in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much all of our cars that are like cool or like followed really well come from the military and are shipped up from the US, and then we'll leave in a few years. So it's come and go all the time. And so there's not a lot of real influence with like the kids coming up. So we still get a lot of the like, yeah, I put wheels on my Subaru, stretched my tires, but like it's still stock height and my wheels don't fit. And then we still have like all like the Surikawas hanging off of people's like crash bars and stuff. And like people still want a bunch of attention for having stickers on their cars.
Oh, fuck.
Just stuff like that. And like now we're starting, it's not real takeovers yet, but like it's coming.
Oh, no.
Like we're kicked out of every single big parking lot.
Fuck you, takeover idiots.
Yeah, we're kicked out of like every single parking lot in our town that's big enough to hold a car meet just because people are doing donuts and stupid stuff. And then like I used to be big into like the like normal car scene and like the hanging out with all the stance kids. Yeah. And then when I got my car, the 46, back up to Alaska because I bought it in Colorado.
Okay.
I finally meshed with like the motorsports guys, like the drifting and time attack and wheel to wheel racing guys, and that scene is actually really cool. It's a bunch of really passionate, driven dudes, and there's some pretty cool cars that we have in our little group. But that's like 40 of us compared to like hundreds of people. scene.
Okay.
Sorry for the hot take, anyone
Holy
who lives
shit.
near me, but it's the truth, and you just.
Well, I mean, it's fucking Alaska. Let's remember that. So okay, then how did you even get involved with the car scene? Like, how did you even catch your eye? How did you get into cars?
Want the long version or the short version?
Hit me either way.
Okay.
Whatever.
So I've been into cars allegedly since I was like 1 or 2, because I had this little fire truck thing, like my parents would push me around in and stuff. And then for kindergarten, we had a thing called Hundreds Day. You know, like when you finally count to 100, they would have us bring in 100 things. I was the kid that brought in 100 Hot Wheels. That was me.
Oh, hell.
And then, and so, you know, as like most of us were when we were like 10 or 11, like I was big into supercars. If there was a supercar that came out, dude, I knew every single thing about it.
Gotcha.
And then I turned 14 and met my buddy Jacob Lowell, and he had a 1968 Plymouth Barracuda, and that was his daily.
No shit.
And so meeting him, he kind of taught me a little bit more about like, not like restoring cars, but like keeping them going and working on them and like modifications. Because before I was like, you can like take stuff off your car and put different stuff on. Like that's weird. Why would you do that? Why not just fix it? And so that led me to like roadkill and like I finally learned about Super Street.
Okay.
Super Street was a big deal for me. And so,
wait, so was your family like into cars?
No,
and stuff?
my dad had a couple lifted trucks when he was younger, but like that was it.
So this was all just more or less self-inflicted.
100%.
Okay,
just
gotcha.
Yeah, it was just about me. And then when I found out about Super Street, you start finding about all the Japanese cars, and you know they're all styled wild. This is probably 2016, so you remember what it was like then, just a super wild style, big wings. Like
that's when I graduated, not to fucking stamp
young.
my age and shit too.
But so I was like, this is way cooler than all this muscle stuff we've been doing.
Yeah.
This is what I want. And then I was reading through a Super Street magazine, and I saw a 240.
Uh-oh.
And I was like,
that was the breaking point.
It was just like a show car when I was like, this thing is dope. And so that kind of got me into like the stance scene a little bit.
Yeah.
And then naturally, when you're looking for like 240SX stance car or like bag 240SX, that was like my dream car when I was like 50.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're going to find out what drifting is. And then I went down that rabbit hole.
And that just kept going and domino effect. And yeah. Okay. So then you said that was about 15 years old?
Yeah. At 15, I had found out what the 240 is.
Okay. Yeah. So did you start driving at 16 and stuff, or did you? Okay. What car did you end up getting for your first one?
My first car was a 2011 Ram 2500 with a 5.7.
Nice.
And I had been saving for a car since I was like 13. And my parents helped me out a little bit with getting it. But then like 4 or 5 months later, I lifted it and put wheels on it and everything. And
as one does, yeah.
Yeah.
You work with what you can.
And I had that thing for like 4 years. 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so then I guess how did like the love for cars and like you finally get a little bit of taste of modifying one with a truck, how does that venture you into drifting? Other than like obviously you learned about it a little bit getting into cars.
Well, so I always thought drifting was a super unobtainable thing, like most of us did when like you're first looking into it, especially back then.
I'm sure it's even worse up there.
Exactly. It's like, did this even happen here? Which back then it didn't. But
gotcha.
But my buddy Jack, he had a camera growing up, and he's a big photographer. Okay. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Like maybe I'll get one of those. So I got a Canon T5.
Nice.
And
started out better than I did.
Oh man, I can imagine. But if that's starting out better than you did, dude, I'm sorry.
I had a T3i.
Oh yeah. Well, they're like the same thing.
Yeah, same body, same all that shit. I think it was literally a different sensor or something. Yeah. Or whatever the fucking it was DSLRs
small differences.
I don't know.
But regardless, so I got a camera, started taking pictures, and then I started taking pictures of cars, and I was like, man, this is really cool. And so I started going to all the car meets, started taking pictures, eventually started getting paid for taking pictures.
Nice.
And then I went to college. And when I went to college, I was down there, was trying to like kind of break into the scene so I could keep making a little bit of money, taking pictures and everything. Yeah. And there was this Grant Nagy. He was one of my buddies in Grand Junction. He had a red IS 300 with a Rep BN kit on it.
Okay.
and it was like super low chrome wheels, like looked pretty good. And so I DM'd him one day and I was like, hey, like I'd like to take some pictures of your car, blah blah. Had no idea that he drifted. But he was like, hey, like we're going to the track to go drifting on Sunday or whatever. You want to come? And I was like, sure. So I borrowed my buddy's begged my buddy to borrow his car, drove over there, and so we had a drift event. And I took some pictures there, did a video there. I did video too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I started meeting these guys, and I was like, they all have like normal jobs, and they can do this because I didn't think that was possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so through them, did all that.
What year is this again?
This would have been 2020.
Oh, okay.
Or 2021.
So gotcha.
And so
pretty recent.
Yeah. And so after I did that, I went back home, was taking pictures again, and I was like, man, all I want to shoot is drifting. Like this is my thing. This is what I want. And so I didn't go back to college. And was like, I want to move out of Alaska for a little bit. Moved down to Colorado. And one of my buddies from that day was like, hey, there's this huge drift event in New Mexico called No Coast. This is actually the shirt I got from it.
Hey, sick.
But he's like, it's called No Coast. You want to go? And I was like, yeah, I don't have a job yet or anything down here, so I'll go.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really want to bring the camera. I was kind of getting over the camera thing then.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll bring it.
Yeah, might as well.
Which was a great idea because that weekend was insane. If you haven't been to No Coast and you live on the West Coast, you have to go.
I've heard really good things about No Coast.
It is the craziest party I have ever been to. Because
you gotta go to Mid Pond Spring Break Bash. That shit was fun. Yeah, I didn't drink a drop of fucking alcohol either, and I had a blast.
I did on that trip for sure.
Well, we ain't gotta get into all that, but.
Yeah, but like it was meeting all these more guys that are drifting and everything was crazy. And like Rudy Hansen, Brandon Whitnick were there. Officer Dan puts it on. Who else was there? Bunch of like fairly big dudes. And so I'm meeting all these guys and I was like, whoa, like they also all have normal jobs. And I had bought my E46 by then, but I was having, like the second thoughts of like, can I really do this? Like, is this even possible for me? And so I went to that event and had an amazing time, filmed a pretty cool after movie for it. And then I was like, well, this is it. This is what I'm doing forever now. And
I'm officially sucked in.
yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
Damn. Okay, so camera. I actually like that because especially here recently, I've been talking to a lot of people that start that way. Where they can't necessarily afford it. And they're just like, I'll pick up a camera, find some cheap camera that's actually works on Facebook or something.
Yeah, no, it's the best way to do it because like if you can't drive a car, why not go hang out with all the dudes that have them and go ride with them, and you're giving them something so they want to hang out with you too. And it's just a super, super useful way to get into it, and it's fun.
Yeah. And you actually mentioned it before the podcast, but It'll teach you a lot for whenever you finally get the chance to.
Yeah, you pick up on things as you go. Just hang out in the pits all the time and stuff.
Oh yeah, actually, speaking of like, do you ever deal with like? Well, we'll get into that in a second. Actually, hold on, getting ahead of myself here. How does the harsh weather conditions and stuff play into the drift events?
Makes our season really short.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not anything more than like what you guys deal with down here because we can't start the season until the snow goes away, obviously. Yeah. So our season is pretty much from first week of May to the first week of October.
Okay.
That's pretty much our whole season. And yeah, it doesn't really do much. This means we can't drive very often. And then in the wintertime, we do ice racing. There's a lake about an hour from town that's big enough to put a track on. So we'll all go by, like, I haven't done it yet, sadly, but all my buddies will go buy like $1,500 cars and just go crash them into each other.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then what we did last weekend before I came here is my buddy Trent, he has a Turbo LS S13, makes like 600, and we put those like big old studs on it. And put that on the ice, and that was a really good time.
Hell yeah. Okay, so the ice drifting is a big thing. So I've always personally wanted to try it. You said you haven't tried it yourself personally?
I have not obviously I've done it, but I haven't gotten to do it like with the studs and everything.
Okay.
But I will say it is the closest way to simulate actual drifting without actually doing it. Because like when we took his car out, we were doing like 70 miles an hour down the straight with berms like this high on ice, and he like did a flick, pulled the e-brake, and felt exactly the same as being like on asphalt in the rain. Yeah.
Okay. So all right, then what is the ratio of like ice drifting events to normal events?
Pretty much 50-50. We did 7 ice races this year.
Holy shit.
One like every other weekend pretty much. The last one happened this weekend actually.
Oh, nice. Okay. So okay, then do you have people that will like convert their dedicated drift car to an ice drift car whenever the time comes, or is it normally always? Oh, so okay.
Yeah. There's a guy. His name's Sean Walsh. He's up in Alaska, and he's got a like totally built, caged FDF kit. SR hatch that he puts on studs every year for it.
Hell yeah. Okay. So what, I guess to someone who wouldn't know or have the first fucking clue, what would be some of the things you would do to prep a car to be on ice?
Well,
is it as simple as it kind of?
Kind of. The first one is you get to spend a couple days sitting in your garage drilling holes in tires, like 600 holes in tires, and you need to do multiple sets because they go flat. So you spend a lot of time doing that, and then you like, at least not everyone does it, but I would like raise your car as much as you can before you shred every single thing underneath off of it. That's pretty much all you do.
That's it.
Just put studs on it and go have a
So
good time.
none of like the suspension or anything like that needs to be changed other than raising it.
Just raise it up.
Wow.
Because like what the suspension doesn't play as much of a role when you're on a flat, slick,
that's true,
slow surface.
Huh. I would expect ice drifting to be more common up there.
The ice racing is pretty good. Like we'll have like 10 or 12 cars a race.
So that's like grip racing on ice, right?
Grip racing on ice.
Trying to grip race on ice.
Yeah, and they have some interesting rules. Like you can't even run DOT studs unless you have a cage in your car because it's too fast. So everyone's on like Blizzaks.
How big is a DOT stud?
Like you know, like a studded tire, you go buy it discount tire or something. It's like this big.
Yeah, little baby screws.
Yeah, you can't even do that.
What?
It's not a cage. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because they're worried people are gonna roll their cars.
Because dude, like Osbo, and I mean, they're running like 2-inch fucking spikes and shit. Like,
yeah, and like those cars that were like actually set up, like I was telling you about, they're running ones like this.
Wow.
But yeah, like they're scared people are gonna roll their cars because the berms are high and everything.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Yeah. I get that. Okay. So then I guess, what are some of the local tracks? You said there was like 4 closest to you or something like that, or 4 events. What was it?
So the drag strip in Palmer, which is about an hour away from Anchorage, they let us run in their parking lot. And that happens twice a year because they're busy. Now that they got 1320 video going up there every year and stuff like that, it's like they're just too busy for us. We don't bring them enough money.
Damn,
so we have one event at the start of May, and then one event at the end of September there. And then we have 8 or 9 events in Fairbanks, which is about 6 hours away, on a circle track that's not very big and is a glorified figure 8 with walls.
Yeah.
And then
hard to travel that far.
For that, and like you can't even hit third gear on the straight in like anything.
Yeah,
so it's
you can still have fun on a tight technical.
Oh no,
track,
we had a great time when we went up there.
Figure 8 is just
that's where like a lot of like driving gets better because we can actually tandem. And
I was going to say it's really good to learn how to tandem.
Yeah,
but
and
I
like how to
much else.
choose lines to not hit the wall.
Yeah, maybe do some crazy entries. Maybe like
no, because you can't go fast enough, and it's it's like a really big slat corner. But there's this. One of your boys hit the wall with me in the car last year.
What? One
of your boys, dude. He had a 350Z.
Oh, fuck off.
But no, he's a good kid. But I was riding along with him, and he entered. It's a big long corner, right?
Yeah.
So we're about halfway through the corner. And I'm looking out the window, and I'm like,
He was looking
we are
at the wall
not.
too.
I was like, we are not. He'd been wall hunting all day. You know, we're like he like trying to get closer every time. He'd been doing that all day, and I'm looking at the wall. I'm like, yeah, we are not on like the right line at all. and I was like, he'll figure it out. It's raining right now. Like we're going so slow. He'll figure it out. And no, he just foot to the floor. Just quarter panel bash bar. And
Oh fuck!
at like 30 miles an hour. It's like great. Push the
Just
shock tower
sucking you
back like
back
2
in.
inches.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
blows. I'm sorry, dude.
But then like the last track that we have is at an event called Tanacross. It's up near Tok, Alaska, which is in the middle of nowhere. And it's on a decommissioned airstrip paved in the 40s with huge holes. It's, in my opinion, my favorite event of the year because it's a weekend-long event, so we all go out there and party and have a good time.
Yeah.
But then also, since it's on that big airstrip, we have the most space, so we can actually go pretty fast. And now I'm friends with like the people that put it on enough that they'll let us go and drift on the autocross course, so we can go and do some bigger entries and stuff.
So it's like an actual road course.
They set one up for those
that?
guys, and then they set up a normal layout for us. But now, as long as like you're cool with them, they'll let us go and drift it.
So I guess there's no real road course style tracks.
We've been trying to get one built for a long time. We don't even have a kart track. We have an indoor karting place in Wasilla.
Do you even have any type of speedway, like a legit speedway?
At that drag strip, they have like a circle track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
But that's it. There's
Yeah.
no road courses. There's nothing. Which,
damn, that's gotta be
since
rough.
our events are so spread out, that unfortunately leads us to some not so legal driving. But
I'm sure it's a little easier to get away with out there, but no, really? Why? How?
So
What?
smallish population, right? 330,000 people.
Yeah.
With a police force of like 5,000 to 6,000. So there's a lot of cops.
what?
There's a lot of cops for not a lot of people.
Why are they wasting so much fucking tax money on that?
Anchorage is not the safest place ever.
I can see that.
We have a lot of drunk
A lot of
driving,
wasteland.
a lot of homeless, a lot of
A
criminals.
lot of homeless.
Oh, dude.
We don't have to get into that, but that's
I'll tell you
crazy.
later. It's
that's
bad.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What was the airport one or the one paved in the 50s?
Called Tanacross.
Tanacross. Okay. So
I call it the Alaskan final bout.
that's way far off.
No, because think about it this way, right? People drive from everywhere for final bout, right?
Yeah.
We drive from everywhere for Tanacross, and you know how everyone's like, "Oh, dude, final bout prep, right?"
Yeah. Tanacross
prep, dude.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy shit.
I always
At least the vibes are like still kind of the same, That's cool.
I mean, it's a joke. I think it's funny.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so like we talk about really cold track temps and stuff like that affecting grip and blah blah blah. Now you're dealing with places like this with, I mean, you guys have seen the video by now. There's patches of grass everywhere. Like it's like how is the grip even feel on something like that, especially with how cold it always is? Do you even have a warm days, really?
Yeah, for spring Tanacross, which is on Memorial Day weekend, the last time I drove, it was like 70 degrees. So
oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty standard temp. Yeah. The coldest one we drove was fall Tanacross, the video that I showed you, and that was like 35. It snowed that morning.
Ooh.
And then,
do y'all have to like sweep the snow off the track?
I mean, it didn't stick because the ground temps were so warm, but it was snowing and like the grass frosted and everything. But no, it's not that bad. The grip problem comes from the fact that track is dirty and really old, so like it's not as tightly bonded as like a normal track.
Cracks everywhere.
And the cracks everywhere and everything. So, really, what takes the grip away is just how hot the tires get. Like
is it really rough too?
Off. Oh, dude, yeah, it's sandpaper. Yeah. We like, you can every lap you can watch your tread just coming off.
So like all seasons are probably a big fuck no because it'll just
I burned a set of Ironman. I heat cycled and burned a set of Ironmans in 2 laps.
Ooh,
on a 180 horsepower.
I was gonna say a bone stock heat 46 basically.
Bone stock.
That's crazy.
It's also part of just like how they set up our layouts.
Okay, because you mentioned Valinos and stuff. You get Valinos.
I have before. Is it worth getting Valinos? For me, no.
Because how much was the shipping on all of that? For, let's just say, if you're just ordering a set, like just 4 of them.
So I'll just give you the comparison. If I
Okay.
ship through Walmart, right, like a lot of us do, for 4 Kendas, I will pay $700 because it's the tires, and then it's the $150 location charge because it's so out of the way for them, and then the shipping fees on top of that. So about $700 for a set of 4. For Valino, for 6 tires, and 4 would cost the same pretty much, except for the cost of everything or the cost of those other extra 2 tires. It was about $1,000 because I have the $150 shipping from Valino to Span, Alaska, which is a freight company.
Okay.
And then the $200 charge for them to ship it to Alaska.
No shit.
So a pair of Valinos would probably cost me $600.
That's just for 2.
It's just for 2.
That's nuts. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So is it kind of considered a flex to be on some nice tires?
It is, but like in kind of a different way. Like I said, everyone's a little behind up there.
Yeah.
So like most people are still running junkyard tires and just like stuff like that. And then they complain about tire prices because they go away so fast. But if you pull up on stickers, it is definitely kind of
dude, I've always said that. Dude, get your brownie points. Leave the stickers on. Just let them ride.
I always leave it on for the first lap just so you can see it go a little bit.
That's hilarious. Oh my god, fucking love that.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 of us who run new tires.
Okay, then I guess. Well,
even the autocross guys run like all seasons of used tires.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro!
Actually,
y'all are way behind.
My buddy Colin, he runs all seasons on his RX-7 that he races wheel to wheel with, against dudes on like
that's nuts.
our 888s and stuff. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
What the fuck?
We're
man?
behind, dude.
Oh my god. Okay, so then like, how about let's say your car's broke and you need to order something off Enjuku, or wherever. Like what? How for one? How long does it even take to get to you?
On the brand, I get a lot of my parts through Beamer World and FCP Euro.
Okay.
FCP Euro will take 3 weeks, and then Beamer World, I've gotten stuff in 2 days.
No shit.
Yeah, and then like Condor, they'll ship me my stuff in like a week. Street Faction got me my seat brackets in like 2 days.
Wow.
A lot of places are pretty fast. It's not as bad. The shipping stuff isn't as bad as everyone thinks.
I mean, if you're ordering through Enjuku, most of it's going to be coming from the company's warehouse.
Yeah, I would love to get more stuff from them, but they don't make any BMW parts, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, they focus a lot on Nissan.
Yeah, so kind of SOL. But my buddy got some stuff from Enjuku for his 240, and they got it super fast.
Damn, even like that's still nuts.
It's still more expensive to ship stuff, obviously. Yeah, no, it's not as bad as everyone thinks.
Yeah.
It's just expensive to ship. And then the other problem is like people not shipping.
Oh.
A lot of people will not ship up there. It's pretty unfortunate.
So, okay, then what are a lot of the common things that you guys need but are the most common to like struggle getting shipping? Obviously, tires are probably a big one, but Arrow's
a good one.
That would be, yeah, I could see that. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the stuff you can get at O'Reilly's or whatever. If you really had to fix something, it's just like the special stuff that's kind of hard to get. Seats suck to ship up there. Seats are very expensive.
What about ordering like out of country stuff? Like if you tried to order something from Japan or something like that.
My stuff from Click Tuning came from Latvia, and it showed up in a week.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn. We're so desensitized, bro. What the fuck? I would expect that shit to take a month to get there.
No, yeah, the shipping time isn't the issue. It's just the cost. Because like the joke is always like to build a car in Alaska takes 3 times as long and it costs 3 times as much.
How do you even prep a car? I guess dude, that sounds so dumb.
How do you prep it for like our tracks and stuff?
Yeah, even for the season, just in general. Like, is there anything different that you guys do?
No, I think it's pretty much all the same stuff. Like, I mean, I tuck 18s when I go.
Like,
so,
yeah,
like,
you're still playing with fucking.
yeah.
Oh my god.
It's really not that different. Like, the only things that we have to do differently is like we are preparing to go to the middle of nowhere for the weekend, like the actual middle of nowhere.
So there's more off-track prep.
A lot more
involved
off-track
than
prep.
anything.
In terms of like actual track prep, you're not really doing it different.
Wait, so are you guys like staying in hotels and stuff, or
No.
like just staying at the track camping?
Oh my god, this is a good story. My first time going to Tanacross was
Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm scatterbrained as fuck, man. This is very interesting.
Yeah, my first time going to Tanacross was last spring, and my ex-girlfriend at the time,
Okay.
she was supposed to grab the tent. So
Oh no.
we drive all the way out there. That was her only job. We drive all the way out there, and the one thing that she had to grab was the tent.
If you're watching, I'm sorry.
But the one thing that she had to grab was like the tent, and she didn't know it was in 2 bags because she was borrowing her dad's or something.
Okay.
And so she grabbed the tent, not the poles for the tent.
Oh,
so,
no.
So we're on the middle of nowhere. Everyone camps out there, and so we slept. Thankfully, my buddy brought his enclosed trailer or his dad's enclosed trailer up, and so we slept in the trailer.
Oh, okay, cool. That came in
was
clutch
lucky.
though.
Very lucky.
Damn. So it's not common to go to an event and stay off track. It's just always normally camping.
No, yeah, I camped in Fairbanks too. The only thing that you can't camp at is that drag strip in Palmer, because the Fairbanks guys come down sometimes to see us and drive. And they
freezing
can't do
when
that.
you camp, or like, do you always have something?
I mean,
Or y'all just that cool with the cold at this point?
It's cold, but like, I mean, you just bring a sleeping bag and make sure you got all your stuff
Fuck
covered.
no, dude. Like, if it's under 50 degrees to me, I'm freezing my ass off. I'm a bitch in the cold.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't like it.
No,
It's
I wouldn't.
really not
I wouldn't
that
last
bad.
a weekend in Alaska. There's
dude.
no way.
Fall Tanacross, it was 30 degrees every night, and when we pulled up, we're setting up tents, dude, and it's blowing 40,
Nope.
pouring rain.
Nope.
Not
Keep
interested.
all of it. I don't want it. Fuck that.
Not
no.
interested.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so like, I guess if you have track issues, like, or not track issues, but like if you have issues at the track with your car, like, how easy is it to really fix stuff?
Good luck.
Okay.
Unless you're in Anchorage or Fairbanks, because I blew a radiator hose at my last event of the season in Anchorage.
Yeah.
And I drove 15 minutes to O'Reilly's and picked the hose up, drove back, put it in.
Gotcha.
All good.
Okay.
But if you're at Tanacross, it's a lot of fun. We my buddy snapped a coilover on his RX-7 at Fall Tanacross, and we had to beg my buddy to come because he was like not gonna go. And
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
hey, could you go grab those WRX BCs that are chilling at the shop and bring them up so we can put on RX-7? and we rebuilt the whole front suspension of that car at the track.
What? That's sick. Okay. I'm just always curious because, like, even if a car, like, let's say mine, I have full fucking everything's aftermarket almost, as far as power steering or
That's
the
honestly the
radiator
best way to do
overflow,
it.
like all that stuff.
Best way to do it in Alaska is just to get everything you can aftermarket.
Okay.
Because like for me, I'm kind of screwed right now because if I want a diff, good luck. I can't find E46s that are for parts or anything, or people want you to buy like a $5,000 300,000 mile like piece of garbage, and then it's like, well, I don't have room for a car. But you have to buy the whole car. Because if I bend a trailing arm, don't have trailing arms. Can't go
So
get 'em.
how about a situation like this? Because I just went through 4 fucking racks on my car without even coming off the
And how
jack
long?
stands. Without coming off the jack stands.
You put your hose up backwards, didn't you?
Shout out to Chase from Chase Base. He was the only reason I figured this out. But and some of his guys there too. But bro, so if you're in this situation, literally, I had the original rack in the car from when it was factory VQ. Worked perfectly fine. Never had an issue out of it. Blew first chance it got as soon as the car started. So my car kept blowing racks, but only when the pump kicked on. Because I could leave the car off, bleeded the system, whatever, and it would hold pressure. But as soon as that pump kicked on, it would overpressurize the system, blow the rack in multiple different places. And went on the 4th rack, we finally got to the point where just replace the pump. I don't know at this point. And so we replaced the pump, and then I took the old one apart. There was a fucking, not Wesley Cloud was the one I got the motor from. You guys know him. But the owner before him of the RB welded an AN fitting onto a bolt with no head, had a hole drilled through it, and a nut that it was welded to also. And that was threaded into where the banjo fitting on a KA pump is supposed to be, because it has the KA power steering pump conversion. And so the banjo fitting acts as a restrictor.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking know that. And then there's also a cylinder restrictor down inside of the power steering pump, MIA as well. Both of them missing. Didn't fucking know that. So it was just overpressurizing the entire time. So they put the new pumps in, stuff like that, and it fixed it.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't what I thought it was. I was like, you were the guy who swapped his lines and blew all the seals out, weren't you?
Oh, no, hell no. Everyone kept mentioning that too. He's like, you got your lines right? I'm like, yes, goddammit,
dude,
my lines are
that
fucking right.
all the time.
I know, but I'm like, shit, I deliberately check stuff like that to make sure, because I'm scared shitless to fuck big expensive parts up. But what would you do if you're in a situation like that up there?
That has actually been scaring me for a while now, because if I was to blow my rack, my buddy has one, but I don't want to buy it right now because it's just money I don't need to spend. But if he sells that one, I'm not finding another one. There's no junkyards in Alaska, and there's not a lot of the E46 market is very small. So I'd have to order me a $600 refurb steering rack from somewhere.
Ooh.
And for your E46 guys, make sure you take out the plastic restrictor on your banjo bolt for the power steering rack. Otherwise, that thing will burn up and clog ears, and that almost happened to me. So I almost was put in the scenario that I just mentioned, a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a little
that sucks,
crosshair looking thing inside the banjo bolt.
Yeah. So who would you even order a rack from? Just order it on eBay or some shit?
Beamer World has refurb ones. So does FCP Euro. eBay.
Yeah. Damn. Dude.
I'm also really scared to blow up. I'm terrified to blow up a transmission. So the E46, the non-M ones, they have 2 different kinds. There's the ZF you always hear about.
Yeah.
Then there's the Get Rag.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Get Rag. Get Rags will blow second gear, just normal driving on the street.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened to me yet.
So you guys have to be more self-sufficient and kind of if stuff like that, you got to learn how to rebuild a rack yourself. Or
there's a little bit of that, but there's also, because you can't rebuild a Get Rag.
Okay.
So if mine blows up, it's toast forever. But I call it the Alaska syndrome.
You can still find a ZF and bolt that right up.
If I ship it for $3,000 from the States.
I mean, yeah, but you're going to have to ship it either way, so you might as well go with the ZF, right?
But it'd be sweet if someone just had one in the States.
Well, I mean,
which is where I get to my next point, where what actually happens is there's a thing that I call Alaska syndrome, where if you find a part, you will never find it again, so you better buy that thing and find somewhere to put it. Because everyone has 12 cars in their backyard that they won't get rid of because they might need something, or they just like that car and don't want anyone else to have it. So my house, my house is just a parts shelf. And I got 15 wheels in my shed. I only use 4 of them, but I have them.
What the fuck?
I have
and it's not far off from people here, of course, too. But
yeah, I have an M54 B30 on a stand that I don't know I'm going to put in, but I have it because they're really hard to find up there. Because the E46 market up there is auto all-wheel drive 325s, like my car. So it's oh, cool. I can just swap in the same one that I have that will never blow up.
Watch yourself.
If it does,
never
cool.
blow
I
up.
have one. I have one. That
better knock on wood or something.
Dude, I think that one might crack a ring soon. I don't know. It smokes pretty good for 5 or 10 minutes when I start it, and then it doesn't smoke after that. And those ones like to crack rings.
Just turn your head for the first 5 minutes.
But I do. Just don't look in the mirror.
It's like doing your bolt checks. Don't do a bolt check and you're fine, right? You do want something to go wrong. Well, don't take that advice.
No, I bolt check. You have to, dude. So
do your bolt checks.
I had the stupidest axle failure of all time at Tanacross for spring. I did my bolt check, everything good when I was in Anchorage before we left. And I got up there and I was like, oh, I haven't driven this car in a while, and I just slammed it again because I've driven my car across the country twice with a welded diff.
The fuck?
Yeah. Same diff that's in the car right now too.
Hell no. Yeah, you better be worried about your diff and fucking trans going out.
I have a spare diff now too. Welded already.
Cool. Never mind then.
Actually, I have 2 spare diffs.
Oh my god!
I have a 364.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Once you see something, you better buy that bitch. I guess.
Yeah. No. Exactly. But I got up there and I was like, oh, I'll just do a little shakedown lap on the autocross course, because if you register for drifting, you also register for autocross at that event.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So I was like, oh, let's go take it out for a lap and maybe like go drift the big corner or something. And I went out there, everything's good. Smacked my oil pan like I told you earlier, and I was like, I'm done until we go drifting again. And so I went and parked it, and it was about 45 minutes before we were supposed to get on grid to go out for the parade lap. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll switch my tires now. Whatever.
Yeah.
Jack it up, do one side, or I did the passenger side, and then I go to the driver's side, and I take it off, put the new wheel on, go to shake it just to check it, and it starts shaking. I'm like, that's weird. So I tighten all the lug nuts, shake it again, still going. I'm like, oh my god, I just put a new wheel bearing in this like 6 months ago. I've driven the car 1,000 miles since then. So I take the wheel off, I shake it again. I'm like, that's weird. And then I look over a little bit and shake it, and the trailing arm bushing blew out from that lap because it was tight before, and it rattled my axle nut loose and just destroyed every single thread on that thing. Axle's totally fine, but it doesn't work now because it
has no
threads, it won't seal. Yeah. Damn. So I smoked my last OEM E46 axle doing that, and I can't find another one. I did find a parts car, and I went to go pull parts off of it. And me and my buddy show up to this like super sketchy shop in like kind of sketchy part of town. Like there's dudes like doing some substances in a RV, like in the parking lot. And then like the guy,
always nice
and
to
like
see.
People were like kind of checking my car out and stuff, all weird and like watching us. And then he never came out. He never came out of his shop to like let me take the parts off. So I was like, I'm
getting the fuck out of here. Yeah.
It's like, I'm leaving.
Oh, damn. That's
my one shot to get some axles.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then you said you replaced a wheel bearing. I assume that sucked donkey dick to do because y'all deal with a lot of rust, right?
I bought my car in Colorado. And it was in Texas before that. My car is almost
rust-free. Yeah, that's true.
My car is...
Which Colorado, you're still going to deal with some rust, but not as much.
Yeah, but it was a Texas car before, and then it was just a summer car for some dude in Colorado. I'm actually friends with one of the previous owners of my car on TikTok.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, then I guess a bunch of other people out there. Is rust a really bad issue to deal with? As much as people make it out to be.
It's definitely harder to find, like especially S13s, dude.
Oh yeah,
really hard to find impossible. A good one. We actually we scrapped one last year because of that. It was rotten.
Oh,
it was bad. Yeah.
People are gonna fight you over that.
People used to push them in lakes 15 years ago.
Yeah,
remember that? They were $800 then.
How much would one cost up there?
My buddy just bought one from one of my other buddies. I think he paid like 13. They're kind of expensive.
Running?
Yeah, no, it was running with
still no
KAT in it.
Pretty KAT.
Yeah, it was my Uber back from the Fairbanks track to the airport. we had four. We had 4 of us in no interior, straight piped KA.
Yeah,
a 45-minute drive back to the airport from the track. Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, weird question, but engine block heaters. Do you run them on the drift cars? No.
I think someone has one, but like doesn't use it. And then my car, like I get mildly concerned about it, but then like because last year I didn't store indoors. This year I haven't stored indoors, and I would drive in the winter sometimes just for fun. Yeah. And there's one night it was like -2, and I was like,
no, hell no. What the fuck? I couldn't even survive in -2.
Cold started so loud it like rattled my house.
Oh. How often are engine block heaters even used?
You're
I feel
supposed
like
to
it'd be
use
more
them.
of a pain in the ass.
Supposed to
deal.
use them quite a bit, actually. Especially like the diesel guys always use it. My brother.
Yeah, well, diesel
my
you
brother
kind of
and
have
I
to.
fought his truck forever. But yeah,
I believe
you're supposed to use it like anytime. I'd say below like 20 degrees. I don't use them
Okay.
ever.
Well, do y'all have any like specific type fluids or anything that you have to use, or just parts in general?
Some people will do that. You know, they'll switch
Mhm.
to a different kind of oil or whatever. I don't, and that almost bit me in the ass last winter.
How come?
I went to drive the E46 and I had Royal Purple in it, and Royal Purple does not like cold. So I was like, oh, all right. Went to go put it in gear. You know when you check neutral,
Mhm.
you know how it's like pretty loose and like kind of hits both sides.
Yeah.
It was like because the fluid was so cold.
Oh, just fucking moving ice around. Hell no.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, so then what oil do you guys use mostly to keep up with the cold temps?
Like I said, I don't change.
You don't change your oil?
And I don't like change what type of oil. I just use whatever I use for the whole year.
Holy shit. Well, I guess you're not running that many events, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't really hurt it.
I just use like
And you're not heat soaking the oil too
I use
either.
5 or 1030 in the truck
Yeah.
as gas, and then I use 530 or 540 in the BMW. Call it good.
Does a car ever even get up to temperature when it's that cold?
Well, like in the winter, or
Yeah.
yeah, of course it does.
So it gets up to like, dude.
If it's really,
Because I'll be fucking driving
dude,
here when
if
it's like 30 degrees, and I
if it's
swear my
really
truck
cold-
won't get to operating temp
If
ever.
it's really cold, it takes a long time. Like there's one time this winter, it was like -20, and I went to drive my truck an hour up to our cabin,
Mhm.
and it got to operating temp when I pulled in.
That's nuts.
Yeah, or like and
Wow.
like the diesel guys will put like like those like radiator blankets on
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
to try and like keep some air off of it and actually get the thing to have heat.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's so many different fucking issues, dude. Okay, so then what are like the most common cars you see at drift events then?
We have like everything, actually. Depending on the event, S13s are definitely still up there, because like there's a lot of guys that love them up there. My buddy Zach has 6. My buddy Derek has a lot. We still don't really know the actual number.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple more 240s. My buddy Cabell has a MX-83 Cressida with an LS in it. He also has a right-hand drive FC with an LS in it. And there's another 2 E46 guys. There's a couple Z guys.
Y'all are more cultured than I thought.
Yeah, a couple
That's
Z guys.
sick.
There's not, believe it or not, this is crazy because you know how drifting is getting now.
Yeah.
There are only 2 E36 drift cars that are like at every event.
Yo, what?
Weird.
Do y'all just not have many BMWs up there and stuff?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah. Damn.
Like mine.
Those are good fucking starter cars.
I remember I went to a car meet and like there were people that didn't know what my car was.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about being desensitized.
Because nobody touches them up there.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it's
mine pulled up like
pain in the ass to work on compared to everything else. No?
6s are really easy.
I mean, they're like Legos mechanically, but...
Well, and like, it's like, okay, cool. Need to do a water pump right in front of you. Need an alternator right in front of you.
That's
like,
fair.
Power steering pump right in front of you. Like
German engineers.
There's all kinds of like little stupid things, but you can make a pretty good E46 for $500. You just change the cooling system, and then if you want to spend that extra $500 to be safe, dude, just do your subframe. It takes a weekend.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a buddy that can weld.
Reinforce it. All the fucking
thankfully mine did not
pickup
crack.
points for the coilovers.
My buddy ripped his out so bad it had a hole like this.
Ooh.
That was in Michigan. Mine's fine.
So you haven't reinforced like the top hats or anything?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I have reinforcements for every strut, and then I have subframe reinforcements too.
Okay, cool.
Only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't done the front subframe, and I haven't done the where the trailing arms go, which I should do soon.
Yeah, I would probably do that.
Because those start to rip and do weird
You
stuff.
keep breaking trailing arms, right?
Keep breaking the bushings.
Bushings, that's right.
But I mean like where the trailing arm meets the chassis.
Yeah.
I still need to brace that.
Okay, so in the lower 48 states, it's still very common for like up north people to swap out their winter wheels and, you know, with their good wheels and stuff. I know we talked about Kansei wheels would be, the Neos would look cool. You obviously have winter wheels. I saw on Instagram that you changed to like, they look like BMW stocks, right?
All of my wheels are BMW stocks right now.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Even those like 5-spoke 18s I have, those are
Those are a good looking wheel for stocks, dude.
dude, those ones are so sick, and I came up on such a deal. I got them for $500 with tires on them,
Damn.
and they were like brand new.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, those ones are from winter package M3s and M4s.
Okay. So what is it? What makes them a winter package? I guess.
So that
The tire
wheel,
they're wrapped
that
in?
wheel is strange. So it's the same style
Okay.
as another style. Those ones are BMW 640Ms. There's also a 513M,
Okay.
but it's like a darker gray and comes in wider specs and different offsets.
Huh.
So
Okay.
those ones are the winter package because they're bright silver and they're 8.5s and 9s instead of 9s and 9s.
Yeah. Okay. So what all are you actually doing to, I guess, prep your car for the winter? Like, let's say you are daily driving it and shit and whatever.
Dude, last year I had it.
Don't drive it. That's how you prep it.
last year I had it super raised up because I drove across country.
Yeah.
Drove from Michigan to Seattle, and then I would just be on the Poland stuff, honestly. Just like leave it dumped and hope you don't hit something. That's probably what I would do because dude, raising cars sucks. I hate measuring.
Yeah.
And raising cars is like the death of me because I never get it right the first try, and I won't do the second try. And so,
dude, I'm telling you,
this year
those
I
little
didn't drive
meter
it.
things where you can just
Oh, the micrometers.
yeah, whatever
I want
the fuck
one.
they're called.
I want one bad.
Cheap as shit for. I'll
know.
give you mine to take back to Harbor Freight if you can't, or take back to fucking Alaska.
Oh yeah, we don't have
cheap
Harbor
as shit
Freight.
at Harbor Freight.
We don't have Harbor Freight.
I figured.
Dude, I miss it. I had it in Michigan. I got a grinder, like a decent grinder, and like 20 cutoff wheels for $26.
Dude, Harbor Freight saved my ass.
Yeah,
when it came
it
to
saved
painting my
mine
kit. I had to
too.
paint my kit 3 times.
Oh, what also sucks in Alaska?
Oh my god!
Is
Don't buy paint off of eBay. Don't do that.
That's a bad idea. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
don't
know why you did that.
fucking do
But-
that. God damn it! Don't do that.
But another interesting thing about Alaska, it's really hard to find low profile jacks.
Really? Well,
And
that
e-
would make
and-
sense.
And even
yeah.
if you do, they don't count. They don't fit good enough under anything.
low
like-
profile to them is like 4 inches tall.
So my buddy went down to Seattle to buy his girlfriend a Lexus.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yo, hitting Harbor Freight. What you want?" I was like, "Let me get a jack."
Everything.
So dude, I got that Daytona one, the super low one,
Yep.
candy red,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
but even that's not low enough. I still have to drive up on wood and everything.
I feel that, dude. I can't reach my diff with the body kit anymore.
Dude, what sucks is like I still can actually. The KBD.
Well, I gotta raise the rear,
The
so I might be
KBD
able
for the-
to soon.
The KBD
but-
for the E46 like comes up so hard I can still fit the jack under it.
Damn.
Not on the front though. But
I wish.
but the spare tire well is what kills me. Because like the jack will most of those low profile jacks will fit under the diff. They just won't make it under the spare tire thing.
Gotcha.
But if you cut that out, then your car's rattly. And like in Alaska, I like to call our drift cars just glorified street cars because we have 4 vents. At least it's Anchorage.
Yeah.
So like I try to street drive as much as I can, and so like I still want my car full interior. I still want it to like not rattle all the time and not be super loud and everything. Because like I put more street miles on than anything.
No shit.
Oh yeah, I did. I dailied it last year actually because my truck broke.
Wow.
Yeah, my truck just Ford in 2011 when my truck was made. They had a electronic locker.
Okay.
And whatever module is in that likes to fail sometimes. And so my locker kicked on at like 60.
Well, it's probably
And
because of the cold.
Just grenaded.
And solders they'll break off easy. Well, I mean, fucked on race day, baby. Yeah. Well, okay. So do you see a lot of people actually driving their car to events? Or is it mostly just trailering?
I did for both of the Anchorage ones.
No shit.
Yeah, because my car's too low to fit on a U-Haul trailer. Number one. And then I was going to. So I work for my parents
Okay.
for their company.
That's
And
sick.
we do paving and concrete and stuff like that. So we have lots of
Oh, yeah.
trailers, and I have access to trailers.
How does that work in the cold?
Well, we do snow removal too. So in the wintertime, we're doing
Well,
snow removal.
concrete has to be warm.
Yeah, so I just the reason I'm in Nashville is for that paving conference thing, and whenever we go to one of these, because we go to classes and everything at them, what we basically learn is that we should never pave or put concrete down ever, because every single like scenario in Alaska that you would be doing that in is wrong. Because they're like, well, you probably shouldn't pave in the rain or like under like 50 degrees, and it's like 2 out of 3 paves we did last year was in the rain, like almost
I used to
all
work
of them was under
construction. We had
50.
to do some concrete stuff, and
Yeah. Our concrete season is definitely interesting, but so we do that. Regardless, I have access to trailers a lot, so we have one trailer, dude. It's tilt deck with like a super long ramp, so it's like pretty easy for my car and everything.
Yeah.
But usually I'll have to borrow a truck because for some reason the trailer brakes on my Ford got switched from the standard commercial style to the residential style.
Oh.
And I found that out when I tried to hook up a trailer to it and couldn't get the lights on because the plugs were wrong.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, well, whatever. Bring my truck. It's got all the wheels and everything in it and all my tools. I told it to my buddy, and I was like, I guess I'm just going to drive my car out there.
Fuck, dude.
That was the one where I blew up my radiator hose too. So it was like, oh dang, I actually have to fix this. I can't just like ramp it on the trailer and be like, whatever, I'll fix it later.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You cannot drive to Tanacross though. I will tell you that.
Oh, you said that shit's in the middle of nowhere, right?
People do it but if you have a car that is any lower than like an SUV,
yeah,
you're gonna have a good time. There's a hill right before Glen Allen that I always have problems on that hill. Like, so the first Tanacross, I hit it, and then for fall Tanacross, I told my brother, he was with me, I was like, oh, I think this is the hill that like I jumped the truck and the trailer on last year or this spring, and hit it, jumped it, wheels were like hanging off the trailer and everything like by the straps, and so
Jesus.
You're not street driving out there, dude. Good luck. Because there's giant
all
bumps.
I gotta say is, if you're complaining about making your car look cool, you ain't got no fucking excuse now.
I tuck 18.
That shit's crazy.
Just saying. Lower your car.
He's low as fuck. His car's clean, and he lives in freezing cold temps. That should say it alone. That's
your cars.
Crazy. Okay. So I guess it's just more or less all grassroots events and stuff up there, right?
Yeah, we are starting to have competitions now. We're starting to get enough guys that are good enough. So when I went up to that event in Fairbanks, it was a 2-day comp. And, we're actually starting to have money for it now too, like payouts and everything.
Wow.
So my buddy, I think he got like $500, but that pays for the trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think this year we're getting enough guys that are good enough that we'll start probably having some small tandem comps and stuff.
No shit.
Yeah.
Does anybody create content out there?
I
don't know why
drifting?
someone wouldn't. Yeah, that would be a hell of a fucking niche.
Just me.
You do? Okay, sweet. Like YouTube content, like long form stuff?
No, I want to.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not good at being on camera.
That's fair.
I'm not good at being on camera. I'm not good at working on cars.
Doing pretty well so far.
Appreciate it.
Let them know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not good at
Give
working.
them the encouragement.
I'm not good at working on cars or anything, and so it's just like it's hard to show all of that stuff. But
that's the best.
We have a YouTube video.
I always tell people, man, your mistakes and your failures are your best content.
I agree.
If you don't know how to do something, that's usually gonna do well. That's why this does well. Like I'm just not scared. A lot of the questions that I ask, like I already know the answer to.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of them don't, but some of them, like I genuinely just don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not embarrassed to ask. So that's
no. I just need to do it. We have a YouTube video of just like me and some of my buddies at the shop.
Yeah.
And from one of the drift events last year, that Colin, you need to edit that shit, by the way, post it. Because it's been like 6 months now, and he's like still filming for it. but hopefully that'll come out, and I am gonna try and at least like do some more videos at events and everything. Our problem is just like media guys are slacking, man. Slacking.
You gotta do it on your own.
Yeah, well, and like now, so the organization that puts on all of our events.
Speaking of, if anyone does media around here near Tennessee, that wants to come to events with me, let me know. I'm gonna need a camera guy. So yes, you will get paid. I'm not one of those guys.
But yeah, so like the organization that puts on our events, it's a bunch of old dudes.
Yeah.
They're like 35, 36 to like 50 something. And so they're not like really big about filming and putting stuff on social media and everything. And so our events are really hard to grow because they're not posting about it enough.
Yeah.
And then the media guys, they don't want to make the commitment of coming to the track, it seems like. And then they film more like the car meets and like the car shows and stuff instead of coming and filming our stuff. But at this last event, I promoted more than anyone on my own stuff. Like, come to our event, blah, blah. And like, we actually like filled the grandstands for once. And like, we had some media guys out there. And so I'm doing a lot of it. Yeah. And then like, I like to document just because like I have a lot of stories that like people are like, you didn't do that. And so I started filming
like
everything.
What?
And so now like on my Snapchat memories, I'll just like do a whole weekend or event or whatever and film whatever I can just on that, just to like have, and then I'll make little recaps and stuff out of it, and those are pretty fun.
Hell yeah. Okay. Now I think it would be very interesting for someone to actually be more creative and do just vlog style format of long videos. Yeah. Kind of showing what it's like being a drifter in Alaska. I would fucking watch that shit.
We have been,
because it's so different.
That has been in the group chat for a long time.
It's going to take someone to just press record and do it themselves.
And I have my A7 III still. Like, I have a good camera to do it. But
better than what I use.
I just need to go do it.
At least you're on full frame.
Worth it.
Still on APS-C. Oh well.
Works good for this stuff. Lenses are cheaper that way.
Yeah, fair.
Because you can just buy like a kit lens and it's still zoomed in enough.
Which kit lenses kind of suck. I used the 18. We're getting off.
Well, regardless, if you use an
18 to 105,
yeah,
because I need a good all-around lens because I do Scotty D's media, so I have to be able to zoom in on track and stuff like that, and quickly zoom out to get.
I sold all my lenses.
Talking shots.
All I have now is a 35mm and a 50, but like that's my biggest regret. I had a Canon EOS R for a while and had like 10 grand and stuff and lenses and everything for it. Sold it all, and now I'm like, I need it.
Yeah,
I got rid of it.
I feel it. It's hard for me to invest in lenses and stuff. Because I need to invest in more cameras.
You have a reason to, though.
I do, but like, I hate when people get construed in that aspect of creating content. The camera does not need to be fucking amazing.
Not at all.
But I just need it so they all match. So the quality all matches. That's the only reason I need more cameras.
Whistling Diesel still films on iPhones.
And fucking Cletus McFarlane does.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah, and I like, and
because that's what that Colin kid is
I can't consume content like that. But you know, and that's nothing against Cletus or Whistling Diesel. I can watch his because it's not all iPhone. His camera guy and stuff is like really fucking, and like even his normal talking videos, they're not iPhone shots. It's on a good camera now. Yeah. All of his secondary channels and stuff.
You still see the clips.
Like it's still iPhone.
You still see the guys like sprinting next to a bulldozer with an iPhone. You know. But that's what that Colin kid's getting all caught up on. He's like, oh well, you know, I want to use my T6. I'm like, your T6 shoots worse than an iPhone. You should just film with your iPhone.
Yeah. No, I mean it's literally just gonna take someone up there to do it all themselves. Yeah, start it all themselves. Show that it's groundbreaking.
I've been so fed up with the media stuff, which is hard when you're friends with everybody, right?
Yeah, of course.
But this year I made a Facebook post when the event got announced, and I'm gonna make another post the week before Tanacross, and basically what I'm saying is like, it's really expensive for us to go to these events, so I can't pay you, but I'll fund your whole trip. You can come hang out with all of us. You're going to shoot the coolest cars in the state, doing drifting and all the stuff that you guys see online. And like, this is your opportunity, and I will pay for all of it. I'll give you the ride up there, everything. but we'll
You
see.
almost need to find someone that doesn't even have a camera and
that's
wants
my
to just
other
be
thought.
around it. That's
well, my other thought is, you know, I bring my friends and everything to Tanacross and other events, and I'm thinking like I might just go rent a 70 to 200 and be like, yo, film me.
that literally, yeah.
I might. Just
That's
end
what
up
I did
doing
with
that.
at the. Actually, if you guys want to see that, that is dropping. Well, it already dropped today. So you guys, yeah, this is like weeks later, but I'm trying to push out some more vlog style stuff. So
I was going to ask if you filmed your mid-pond trip.
I didn't, because that was oh god.
Dude,
we can go over that real
mid-pond
quick.
gets all of the clicks on YouTube.
And I know.
It's the new USR, man. It's the new USR.
I had full intent of doing a full mid-pond video, but let's just fucking go through it real quick. So the event starts on the 22nd, and it's all weekend. It's a 3-day event. So 22nd is a Friday. I spent a week and a half repainting my kit.
You'll have that.
Because first time I fucked up the primer. My dumbass self didn't clean the body kit correctly. Clean your shit with Ajax. Make sure you get all of the chemical off of it.
You have the direct line.
Dude, I know. Let's not get mixed up in the details. Listen. Clean your kit. Clean the KBD kit. Clean it right. Make sure you get all that gloss off of it.
Did you paint yours with a gun?
Yeah. I used like an actual gun and stuff.
I still got to paint mine.
I did it properly, but
lame.
I know, right? So I wanted to use Polyvance. Didn't get to use that because I fucked it up the first time. Didn't want to wait for it to get shipped, so I used SEM. Anyways, so I had to repaint the kit after fucking up the primer. Base coat was wrong. Ordered the paint off of eBay, and turns out it was a single stage. I didn't read the full fucking description, and it was like bright white, like.
And you want more like
it's
an
Honda.
off-white deal?
It's Honda Championship white.
And you did.
It's like a bone white
and you
almost.
didn't think that'd be bright white? You know how many Hondas there are out there, dude?
Dude, yeah, I know. Listen,
You've
but
seen that color.
It's
in
NHO.
person
It's
before.
Championship white. It's like the most basic Honda white ever.
Right.
It's been around like yes.
It is a bright white though.
It's not though. It's like a bone white. It's like a off white, kind of tannish white. But so after that, I was like, dude, fuck it. The livery will cover it, most of it up. It'll be fine. Blah blah blah. And then I was staring at it for a couple days, and I'm like, this pisses me off.
You have to order a new livery?
It pisses me off so much. No, the livery hadn't shown up yet.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good. I thought you meant like you put it on and we're looking at it and you're like, I gotta take all those stickers off.
No, I'm staring at it on my phone and then looking over at my car and then and I'm like, the side skirts will definitely be fine. They basically get hidden by the entire livery.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to make it work in my head, and then eventually I was like, no, I'm not doing that to my sponsors.
Just the kit or the whole car?
Just the kit. I did paint the whole car a couple years ago.
Okay.
So it is all custom paint. Flake,
if it was the
everything
whole
in it.
car, you could just be like, well, I mean,
No.
at least it all matches.
No, it had to match. Because, like,
yeah.
We're getting there. Hold on. Okay, so I painted it with the single stage. It was way off, so I had to completely redo that. And I had cleared over the single stage. So whenever you clear over single stage, you have to wait for the single stage to cure. You scuff it, clear over it. Because I had to put flake in the clear to make it match completely.
Right.
So I did all of that. That's when I noticed. And if you've ever had to sand single stage off, it sucks donkey dick.
Time.
And since it's KBD, I didn't want to just layer paint and shit.
Though?
What?
You ever try to repaint BMW wheels?
Oh, I can see that.
Whatever primer or whatever they use for their wheels.
Really?
Dude, no paint stripper will take it off.
No shit.
No, like nothing.
That's what I had to do. I had to go get the aircraft shit. And strip.
So I have a set of Style 32s. They're a pretty popular BMW wheel. I've been fighting those wheels for 2 years now. Trying to get everything, like on and off, but just trying to get everything off because every time you're like, all right, cool. That looks like bare metal. I stripped it all the way. Sweet. And then you find that next layer and you're like, what?
How is this possible?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, I start sanding it with fucking 80 grit. 80. Like, I'm scratching the paint just to get it, like scratching the bumper, everything.
You're trying to get it all the way off, right?
Yeah, because I didn't want to layer paint on KBD because it's flexible. Like I wanted to still have as much flex as possible.
Did you have a DA? Or did you
Oh yeah, I had a DA. Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, hopefully you're not doing this by
block
hand.
that bitch. Nope. I was getting at it too. I was like, I don't care if there's fucking dimples. I was like, I don't care if it's not smooth as fuck. I just need this done. The white will hide most of it.
It's a drift car.
Exactly. So I spent 3 or 4 days just getting all of this shit off. And aircraft stripper, where that shit sucks now. Like the chemical that they use now is not as good as it used to be. So
it's all environmentally
it'll take off like
stuff.
half a layer. Yeah, it'll take off half a layer at a time. So like the first one I did got like all of the clear and like a portion of the base coat.
Yeah.
So I had to do 2 coats on everything, and the second coat barely got past some of the base coat, the single stage. So I had to sand the rest. And I finally get it all down to the body kit, sand it all up to 400 like you're supposed to. Finally reprime it and paint it and everything. But what had like struck me to want to go ahead and repaint it was I had really bad fenders, and I had brand new ones sitting on the shelf, and I was like, I've still got a week and a half before the event. Let's go ahead and spray these fenders.
Might as well put them on, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I called up O'Reilly's. I got them to mix the paint this time, and this was before I repainted the kit.
O'Reilly's mixing paint?
Yeah, dude. Some of them do. Not all of them.
I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, only some of them do.
You know what really sucks?
What?
In Alaska, for whatever reason, O'Reilly's has stopped taking oil. You can't bring oil there anymore.
What?
Yep.
Damn, that sucks.
Now when you do an oil change, you got to go pay like $30 to take it to the dump, and it's a whole pain in the ass. And
no way.
Yeah, it sucks.
Wow.
It's very
that blows big time.
Where was I? You can't burn synthetic oil either, because like a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'll use my waste oil to heat my shop or whatever.
Yeah,
synthetic doesn't burn like that.
Yeah, no.
So you're screwed.
Yeah, that definitely does suck. But yeah, anyway, so I bought paint from O'Reilly's and resprayed these fenders, and I threw them on, and it was like identical match, perfect mix.
Huh.
And I was like, there's no fucking way. This was cheaper. It was cheaper to get a quart at O'Reilly's than to buy it on eBay mixed. And I was so fucking mad at this point. But yeah, so I repainted the fenders and they matched perfect. So I was like, and now I have to do the body kit, because I'm not going to do my sponsors like that. Once the livery goes on, I wanted to actually like do them right and do myself right as well. This is why I always preach, make your car look good. So I did the extra work and did all of that.
Cool.
Yeah. And then got everything finally finished on Wednesday, painted wise. So Thursday I was gonna throw the livery on. So I pull the car out. I go to wash it with Dawn, wax and grease. Well, I didn't wax and grease remove. I used alcohol, isopropyl alcohol to the entire car. And then I was gonna pull it back in so that I had lights throughout the night, and I had a propane heater to keep it warm. Car doesn't start after that. I'm like, there's no way.
Sucks.
There's no fucking way. Like, it's cranking and cranking and cranking, and it won't start. And now it's giving me a fuck ton of trigger issues. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, and it's like 1 o'clock at this point, and I'm like, I've got to get started on this livery, or I'm not going to finish.
How far is Mid-Pond from here?
Mid-Pond's about 3 hours. About 3 hours from here. So I left Friday morning, and I knew I was going to be late because I was like, I've dealt with enough. So it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to have to put the livery on right here in the driveway and all the elements, everything. So I get started, and I'm up until 3 a.m. at night putting this fucking livery on before Mid-Pond.
Those aren't fun.
And it's like, it's getting cold, which is terrible fucking temperature to be putting.
Raw and hurting.
Oh, so bad, especially from all the sanding and shit. Like, I was already drained as fuck.
Yeah.
Multiple, like, all week I had been doing that, staying up to about 3 a.m. working on this piece of shit, just getting it ready. And then the whole event, like, it didn't work. I winched it up on the trailer, drove to Mid-Pond because John McCrary was supposed to be bringing me a CAS to replace it and fix all of that, and threw it in, retimed it on the trailer, ran, got it off the trailer, drove it to the pits, parked it, shut it off, went to go grab some food and chill out for a second and breathe, and come back and car doesn't start again. So I spent all of Friday trying to fix the car, and then half of Saturday trying to fix the car, and I still don't even know what fixed it.
Yeah.
No fucking clue.
That's
I just went back like 7 tunes and threw that on there, redid the timing, and it started right up. And I was like, I don't know. Don't touch it. I was like, I'm going to go do a data log. And I saved everything, sent it to the tuner, and he sent me another tune back with some more fucking boost and shit. But finally got the car working, and it still wouldn't run right the entire event. I could not keep it in drift. Every time it wouldn't stay up in the RPMs. I don't know what it is.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to do my first event.
That was long-winded as fuck. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that was a great story. But I was supposed to do my first event in 2022 instead of 2023.
Yeah.
And I was in Michigan at the time, and there's a drift event coming up in August.
Yeah.
And so it's like mid-July. And went up to my buddy Tyler's house. And we just jack up in his driveway and go to check all the bushing stuff. He's like, hey, every single bushing in the back of your car is like torched. Like, good luck, dude. And I was like, great. And he's like, well, and your subframe's not reinforced yet because we just kind of check everything out. Because he knows BMWs are scared of that guy. Like, dude.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, we should probably just do your subframe. And so we spent the next 2 weeks. We were like, all right, we'll do the subframe on a weekend. It'll be good. Got all my stuff in. Did the subframe. That turned into, well, you know, we might as well just like do your angle kit now too.
Yeah.
Because he builds knuckles and arms too.
Gotcha.
And so did those. And then he was like, well, or I had gone and picked up a set of headers, just eBay headers, for $40 off of another dude that drifts in Michigan. And he's like, well, we might as well just put your headers on too. So we've already been working on this car for like 2 weeks at this point. And so get my headers put on. It's all good. It's like 2 days till the event starts.
Yep.
Get my tune in finally, because you got to like tune out some check engine lights and stuff.
Right.
And you have to delete the secondary air pump. And that does things.
Yeah.
And so get all of it done. Finally get my tune uploaded. It's all good. Start the car. Misfiring on all 6. and I'm like,
shit.
What the hell? And so I'm chasing this misfire for like 3 days, staying up way too late, and then like getting home from work, doing it again. At lunch, doing it. Like trying to get this all figured out. Checked everything. And turns out this is the night before the event. Actually, no, I'd already missed the first day of the event. It was a 3-day. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I missed Friday. It's Friday night. And I'm, no, I missed Saturday too. It's Saturday night.
Shit.
Chasing this misfire.
Yep.
And so I'm just messing with stuff. And I just had the thought in my head, like, maybe somehow I got the harnesses for the O2 sensors crossed. Like, but I was doing some research in the forums and stuff, and every single place I looked, forums, Facebook groups, like all the Facebook groups, all YouTube, places like that, everyone says that you physically can't cross those harnesses because the plugs are different. Almost every plug in a BMW is different. Right. So you don't do that. Yeah, you can. And so I spent 4 days chasing a misfire.
Was cross
because of that, because like it was like the sun setting, you know, it's getting all dark.
How did you cross it then if it's 2 different connectors?
Not the same.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So someone must have had
the pre-cat O2 sensors. The post-cat ones are different, but since the pre-cats, since it's both pre-cats, they're the same. And so
to the Germans.
Yeah, dude, it's not a joke. but so the sun setting and everything, and Tyler pulls up in his E90. He's like, dude, what's up? Like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm about to go drive this thing again, I guess.
I'm here. I don't know.
I'm about to go drive it again, I guess. It's probably not fixed, whatever. Because as he's pulling up, I put a coil pack back in and crossed him the right way. And we go do a pull on the road and runs
full power.
I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Because he'd been making fun of me because I couldn't get my car running the whole time. And
he's wasting all this goddamn time for 2 wires.
He pulls up and it's fixed just immediately. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, so I missed that entire event because of that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I totally feel that. Oh. Well,
And then
Did you finally make you didn't finally make it to the event at all?
Didn't start driving until the next year.
Damn that.
Because there's another event coming up, but Tyler's car broke.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't going to go without him because I didn't have anything for support system. It would have been just me, no friends, no truck and trailer, nothing.
Right.
So it would have been that full cowboy shit. Like we're driving 3 hours in this car and it's making
in
it
Alaska.
Home. No, this is in Michigan.
Oh,
it's
okay,
that's
right.
And this car is making it home because I have no one to call. And at least in Alaska, like if I break something like in town, it's like, oh, whatever. I can just take this my buddy's shop or like call someone to come tow me.
Right.
In there, they couldn't have done that. So
sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, completely on a different topic, but the at your drift events, the views are pretty great, right? Like the background, I saw some of your pictures and like just straight mountains and shit. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that all year?
What do you mean?
It looks kind of like with the snow still on the mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah. The track in Anchorage, it's got those giant mountains behind it.
Oh, okay.
That like you always see in all the 1320 thumbnails.
Yeah.
Those ones are green most of the time, but the ones at Tanacross, yeah, those ones at least have a little bit of snow on them all the time.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was really off topic, but
the Fairbanks track, not quite as good of views because it's just all trees, and then the highway, and then the like mud drag racing pit like right behind.
Yeah, I'm sure that ain't too pretty.
it's not quite the same.
Shit.
At least the grass is nice on that track, though. It's not just pavement.
No. Oh, okay. So I guess then what is something we haven't mentioned about Alaska and drifting and all of that probably people wouldn't know?
I think we've
hit quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of talk about the influences up there because you and I, we're style guys,
right?
As has been evidenced many times. Yeah, that's just me and you.
Yeah,
because like everyone else, either their stuff looks like a pro car, or it's LS swapped and really high, or like my buddy Cabell is close.
There's no comp.
Like I said,
influence.
We're 5 years behind everything, if not more. Because like I came into drifting in the Final Bout era, where like everything on Instagram you saw was slammed, nice paint, nice kit, like really well put together. And then a lot of these guys, because drifting really only started in Alaska, like events wise, in like 2019. People have been street drifting before then, obviously, but like actual driving, that was like 2019.
Yeah.
So what started happening then? More people were getting into clutch kickers and then like the pro-am stuff. And so that's what their major influence is.
Damn, okay.
So everyone always makes fun of me because my car makes 180 horsepower and is
so they're
super
only getting
low.
Like the internet influence of the US, which is
there's no
predominantly Formula Drift.
Yeah, there's no one else to really show them that. I guess my buddy Spencer in Fairbanks, he's got a Chaser and his car looks good. And he actually like goes to Japan and drives. And then we have another guy, Walter. He is in the military, was stationed in Japan for 8 or 9 years, I think. He'll correct me. But but like did you ever see the video of the dude like drifting a van on Mahon?
Yes.
That was him.
That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah.
He's got a Chaser, a couple 240s and stuff. And so he's kind of the middle ground. But that's all of us. I just get called the idiot because I'm hitting everything and like my car has too much camber in the back, which is why I cut it this year. And
damn. All right. Well, that's quite a
kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
Well, we don't have to talk about sad stuff, but
it's making me raise my car now, man.
Yeah, poor guy.
Terrible.
All right, well let's jump on the last few questions. So, this is gonna be actually kind of hard for you, I'm sure. So if I gave you $3,000 to spend on Enjuku, what parts would you buy to make your car better from where it sits right now?
I could maybe get a seat bracket for my passenger seat. I finally got another bucket seat.
So $100
and
or so.
yeah, and then I could order. Let's see, how much are those? I could order like 200 like the drift journals. You know those?
Drift journals?
Yeah, on Enjuku. You know what those? Okay, so it's like a little book, right? And like it's got different little categories. So you can be like, this air pressure for this. This blah, blah, blah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you meant by journal.
I could order 200 of those.
What the fuck? A turbo kit.
You can't get those on Enjuku. At least for my car.
They sell Garrett's and everything. What do you mean?
You can get a turbo. You're not getting manifolds or anything on there. I've looked. It's sad.
Oh.
It's a bummer.
I mean, you can get, well, yeah, I guess.
I get wheels. I can get, I think I could probably get wheels.
Get your Neos.
Yeah, I get
your
two
Neos.
Get two sets. So we got matching spares now.
Hey, there we go. Get your grip roll steering wheel. Shit.
Yeah, good. I need a new steering wheel.
You can fix your concoction of coilovers.
My coilovers for $2,800, dude.
What the fuck?
I got a hookup though on them, like from one of my buddies in Florida.
Damn, let's take up your whole budget there.
Well,
shit.
He was trying to become a dealer, so I got him got $2,800 coilovers for like a little over $2,000.
Oh, nice. That's sick.
Custom valve and everything, and too much for my car.
Yeah, figures.
Got it low though.
Well, yeah. You see, you can still buy parts on Enjuku.
I can.
You're tripping. There's too many universal parts. Like, I mean, seats are always a big one.
Yeah, I guess I could finally put a handbrake in my car on Enjuku.
Yeah. Your Chase Bay's handbrake. That'll piss people off.
I have the power steering reservoir.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, I do. When did you get that reservoir, actually? Because I had the old one.
I have the new one. Unless it came
in the past few years. Well, yeah.
I got it in like July.
You've got the newer version.
I got it in July because I've been having. No, I got it in August because I've been having. E46 is like the vent.
Yeah.
It was actually bad enough that so the little vent hole on them is in the cap, and that little hole is getting so hot it was melting the cap. No
shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, the Chase Base ones has good baffling and shit.
Yeah, it seemed to work. One thing that I wish they did though is like on the website told you where full is on it.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't mess that up, but I was throwing my car together before an event, and I was like, hey, like, can you just put some power steering fluid in there so I can bleed it and everything, and
yeah, fill it halfway.
That's what I did.
Yeah, fill it, especially when you're bleeding it. It won't bleed right if it's.
That's what it did by itself.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just sprayed it all out. It's like, I don't need all this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and those baffling reservoirs, you can basically use them with any kit. So if you have a different kit and you want to buy that one, there's just AM fittings on the bottom and shit.
Make it pretty convenient. They even, if you have an E46, they even have like the way I have it, they have the OEM style hookups for it too. You can just shove the hose.
Yeah,
in. Pretty nice.
Yep. And they're not pressurized. It's just the lines, I think.
Yeah.
What the ordeal is. I'm not too educated on that. I don't know. I really want to do their brake booster delete. That thing looks fucking sick.
Left foot brake?
Do what?
You left foot brake?
I'm trying to. I'm gonna need to a lot more.
Well, no, but I mean like
turbo setup and shit.
like on the lead line left foot braking.
Wait, how do you mean? Like leaving the line?
No, because like if you're chasing, right, you're not just gonna be stomping on the brakes the whole time.
Well, yeah.
But like, otherwise, you don't need to do.
I just enjoy. It gets all the shit out of the way.
Yeah,
I hate the bulkiness of it.
It is nice for like
because I want to put my power steering reservoir in that because like the Z's have those little heat management cubby holes.
Yeah,
and I want it out of the heat and in there.
That will be nice. I don't know. There's just there's been a big debate, at least in like the E46 community, because a lot of guys are like, I'm doing a booster delete, and people are like, do you street drive your car? He's like, yeah, and then like he'll do it and be like, this is the worst decision I've ever made.
Obviously, be smart with what you're doing, but
it's just like one of those like overbuilding.
Yeah, I get that.
So I always have to like ask the question like, how much are you left foot braking to really?
Yeah, mine's solely a track car. It never sees the street, so yeah. Well, you're in a different area of the world too. So
I don't have enough events to justify having a car just for that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I guess let's get your best piece of advice for anyone just getting into drifting.
Make lots of friends. The more
Very true.
connections that you can have in drifting, and just in general, helps so much. Like I would not have even gotten close to driving at this point if I didn't have my friends, because it was friends that invited me to come to an event, to come film it for the first time. It was friends that got me to No Coast to go and see all of that and get my first ride along. My first ride along ruined drifting.
Yep.
I rode in a Z06 chasing a JZ S13 at Sandia, doing like third gear flicks on the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah. That'll make you jealous.
But yeah, regardless, just make lots of friends. And if you like cameras and stuff already, or you think you'd be interested in it, pick one up, go to an event, shoot your homies' cars.
Yeah.
You will be the driver's best friends, and then when you start driving, they will.
You don't
actually
need
be
an
there to help
amazing
you.
fucking camera.
That too.
You don't. Learn how to use the settings.
You can get a Canon T5 and a lens for like $200 on Marketplace, dude.
Mhm.
Go get you one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the best way to get into it. And also, don't overbuild your car. Buy an E46 for $2,000. Spend $500 doing the cooling system. Spend $500 doing your subframe. Put a diff in it, even if it's sketchy, and go drive it, and you will have a full drift car for like $4,000.
There you go. Cheat codes, baby. Hell yeah. All right, well, let's get if you had the opportunity to speak to the entire world, what would your one message be?
I guess what I just said, just like try and say yes to as much as you can, and try to make a lot of good lasting impacts.
Very true. Awesome. Well, that's pretty much all we got for this one. So you got anything else that you want to mention as far as what we've talked about, or just anything?
Bring style back to drifting.
Amen.
Thank you to Cabell and Tyler and all the dudes at Team 76 in Utah, and Torin and Grant, and all of my friends that have helped me get to here, because they were the ones who told me to buy my E46 because I was going to get like a Focus ST or something. Like that, dude, I just wanted like something that you could like go autocross, but like also fit stuff and like drive in the winter. And I was like, that's kind of a cool car for cheap, whatever. And then they're like, dude, you're moving to Colorado. It doesn't snow in Grand Junction. You're buying a drift car. And I was like, oh, all right, you're right.
Yeah,
So,
that makes more sense. Yeah.
So I got my E46. And then like those are all the dudes I hung out with at No Coast, and they're awesome. And there's so many more to name, but like I can't do all of them. Of course, yeah. And then Tyler, thank you for, as you say, building my whole car for me. He helped me with like all the big initial stuff.
Yeah. That's how Brennan Daniels was to me.
And if you ever want to go visit Alaska, dude, it's a good time. You won't regret it. Come up during June or July so you can be warm, and just put it on your bucket list.
Sick. I definitely want to put it on mine. So,
well, I got the hookup for you when you do.
I sure appreciate that. Hell yeah. We'll have to make that happen. All right. Well, I guess that's really all we got for this one. So look below the video. Make sure the subscribe button is not still red. Go ahead and click it if it is, and hit the bell notification while you're at it so you're always updated. And like I always say, links to everything you will need as far as parts that we may have discussed, you can probably find on Enjuku. So go click that link and see what you need. But yeah, that's it. So see you each and every Sunday for a brand new episode. Thanks. To the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want fuck, then I leave. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. Stacking money up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no